favor of the Unicorns. Take a look at the CS. Even mid and AD carry. Slight advantage. Because Vizicsacsi, Kikis is taking a page out of Diamond's book.
Bindings, but even then Caitlyn's follow-up all-in isn't that strong.
Oh, Dark Binding connects. Hylissang's in trouble. Hylissang is dead. Crepo, as if by design, MrRalleZ demonstrates how powerful a BF sword is. Mimer does not have Equalizer. It's just about to come off cooldown. Trap gets avoided.
I think he's gone.
Here's the spear. It comes out. Equalizer goes forward. Mimer's going to get dropped down eventually. 200 hit points. And the Vengeful Maelstrom picks it up. Unicorns reply on the board. It's not over yet. Horo's looking for Vardags. No Tempest, no Cripple. Very relevant in the Fnatic matchup. Arguably part of the reason they could stay into it. We'll get back to that thought in a second. Kikis is being baited forward. PowerOfEvil's on the sideline. Let's see what Unicorns can do. They've got no vision. Ace in the hole catches Kori. This is going to get explosive. PowerOfEvil gets kicked backwards as Horo's trying to find a target. Kog'Maw gets blown up. Horo flashes over the wall. Now Kori's on the full retreat. Kikis is chasing. He's got red buff. He eats a charm, but he pounces in. He manages to get the takedown. Now onto Nisbeth. Red buff ticking. Follows it up for a double kill. Ends up being a 1-for-2 trade.
And you see MYM springs the trap. Or get spring the trap on the Kog'Maw that is immobile, but they don't have any hearts to see to lock him down, and it takes too long, and UOL get counter damage, get counter poke, and MYM ran out of fire really quickly there, and they get turned on, and this is not a good sign for them, because if you get your engage an inch away from a Kog'Maw, you should get blown up, and because later in the game, you're not going to get that close to them anymore, not help him.
Well, let's take a look at this. Unicorns of Love, 4 members up in the top lane. Equalizer from Mimer just to clear the wave. Charm goes wide. Mimer is down and Kikis pounces away. Unicorns on the inner turret, MYM on the middle turret. The decision for Unicorns has been to go for the inner turret. Look at your mini-map. Meteormaker's trying to come into play. Collateral damage is down. It did not put a lot of pain. The charm doesn't connect and Kori's in retreat. That was a wasted Spirit Rush, and that flank definitely not effective. And
now they're even zoned out of their base, so they're at risk of losing a tier 3 tower. At any given point, UOL can back off and go for that dragon that's spawning in exactly 2 seconds from now.
Well, let's see what they can do. Ace in the hole comes out, Living Artillery connects, MrRalleZ forced out of the fight. The Equalizer setting a back line for the Unicorns of Love. They've started to peel away. Tower is not down. PowerOfEvil takes some turret shots before he's forced to retreat. Mimer is going to be the first one. That's a massive shot from Vardags as Hylissang is using the Soul Shackles to zone Meteormakers away. Piltover Peacemaker after Living Artillery forces Kori to flash. 1-for-1, Unicorn still in the tower.
Yeah, and I just want to highlight how well Vizicsacsi played that fight. If we get a replay later, I want you to watch what he does, what his position is, and what his zone control does for his team.
And hopefully we will catch a replay of that bottom lane fight. Unicorns now with a noticeable lead. 2 dragons, 4,000 gold.
Mimer TP'd in though. They're trying to clean up the crew before they buy their items because they're going to get absolutely even much stronger. Like everything, they need to dodge, and somehow clear that wave. Look at MrRalleZ. He steps forwards to box the wave, but it's one after the other. Beautiful bind by Hylissang, and they're suffering right now. And they're rotating down bottom. It's an open inhibitor. There's not even power to save them. This is getting really hard for MYM.
MrRalleZ needs to go back to tap dance school and learn how to do a 2-step because he simply cannot afford eating those skill shots.
A 4-step almost.
A 400 step.
Needs to dodge everything. Here they go.
Equalizer is out. Kikis gets a black shield popped. He is down. Collateral damage. You don't need to dance when you got a shotgun. We do see Mimer out in the background. Chachi still on the front line as the inhibitor will get secured by the Unicorns of Love. They've lost 1. #word.
Yeah, and they use the charm. Here's PowerOfEvil going in and kills Kori.
Kori is out. Caustic Spittle plus Living Artillery. It's not over yet as Vizicsacsi keeps Horo in place. Unicorns are looking for more targets. They lost Javelins, but they've still got everything else to throw at MYM.
Give me one more time, guys, because I'm just going to take all your skill shots while my team just absolutely tears you apart.
Let's see what Hylissang can do. Nisbeth and Horo jumping onto him. He can die.
Potentially engaged on, and they're definitely dancing that line very well, and they're using, they're landing their spells, you know, bindings are landing, spears are landing. Again, another bind from Hylissang connected, they're following up, and
Kori takes so much damage. Ace in the hole wasn't available. Chachi was tanking up the laser for a while, but Kori managed to get away thanks to the Spirit Rush. Now Horo, he's looking for Kikis. He wants to find a kill. He eats a Dark Binding. Now Unicorns of Love are trying to set up. Hylissang has thrown the Soul Shackles out. He's in reply. Take a look at the Super Minions. They're back on the Nexus turrets. Nobody goes down, but the damage is being done. Nice CS advantage, hence the lead. But the waves have always been pushing into him, and his collateral damage is the only wave.
Yeah, I tried highlighting that when we saw the Forgiven replay in the other game. You know, if you're using your buckshot and your abilities on waves on the minions and not the enemies, it doesn't matter how fed you are because you're not going to kill them. You know, if they're stuck in their base, and then once they have to group up, it's basically dodging lesson. You know, and yeah, they hope they would dodgeball up because that's what they need right now. And even right now, once they're forced back by the spells coming out of UOL and they're just losing their inhibitor.
Well, let's see, dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge again. Meteor Makers are trying, but they are failing. You can't dodge an ace in the hole, but Mimer can eat it. We do see Vardags goes out as MrRalleZ puts another kill on the board. That's a 2 without reply. Meteor Makers, they do manage to survive and surprise Unicorns of Love.
Energize their abilities to just immediately blow one target up.
Wow, there's no Kori yet. He's still healing on the fountain. 50% of the tower is down. Mimer did eat a Dark Binding. He's lost 50% of his hit points. Hourglass is available. Now the inhibitor's being focused. Kori's going to rejoin. Oro on the side lanes. Let's see where the equalizer comes out. Unicorns lost the last fight that started this way, but they seem to have slightly more control and more options in the middle lane.
They really want to wait for that Spirit Rush. That's exactly what they need. And UOL knows that, so they really want that inhibitor before they get caught again.
So, going to be able to secure this one. Horo's backed off into his base. Spirit Rush is shortly available. And you can see that Mimer's holding onto his equalizer as well. Unicorns, they're going to play with fire if they go into this bottom lane.
I would like to see an Aegis on the side of MYM though. They really need more magic resistance, but Hylissang is landing bind after bind, and again on MrRalleZ, forcing the QSS and the counter rumble ulti.
Equalizer is out. Vardags gets kicked to safety. Horo's on the front line. We do see Unicorns of Love losing 2 more. MrRalleZ and Kori untouched in that fight. They continue to push forward, and Unicorns again lose 2 members on the bottom lane. There is super minions pouring into the middle. Let's see what Chachi can do. The spear gets dodged thanks to the hourglass. Teleport coming up from Mimer. He cancels it to get the cooldown, and Unicorns losing team fight. And Unicorns are sieging. It's not as safe as it was in the opening 20 minutes.
Yeah, Pokecoms have a timer on them because eventually people get too tanky and you get caught too easily. So I definitely want to say props to MYM. You know, they defended for quite a long time. They didn't lose an inhibitor, and that's really important because for both teams really, UOL can get absolutely obliterated yet again, but if they get this inhibitor, they can basically start rotating around the map and get that Baron, and they can close out the game. Really important.
So all of the damage onto Horo, he's not going to be able to flank like he's been able to. A couple more auto attacks. Kikis moves into range. Vardags takes it down. Super minions just in from the middle lane map. Super minions and regular minions making their way closer and closer to Meteor Maker's base. And Hylissang, he's caught out. Black Shield will keep him alive a few seconds longer. He does manage to survive. Dark Binding does not connect, and Hylissang barely escapes with his life.
His flanks and telling the rest of his team where to ward exactly. You see that layer of Caitlyn traps, that's an additional zone they have, Nidalee traps. They're basically making it so MYM gets punished if they ever engage, and they catch him off. Here's Kori.
Kori gets a charm down into Vardags. Collateral is out. Vardags is down. Now Mimer looking to Vizicsacsi. He's got the assistance of Horo. There's not a lot of mana left onto Kikis as we see Vizicsacsi hit backwards. Another 2 kills for Meteor Maker.
The Baron and possibly even lose it. And now they might even pick up the Baron themselves.
Well, they've started this one off. Kikis is close by, as is PowerOfEvil and Hylissang. Baron's going fairly low, as is Horo. We do see those javelins going
fish
wide.
in the barrel now, though.
Kikis is trying to get in range. This is, like you said, fish in a very small barrel. MrRalleZ continues to hit it down. Kikis looking to set in.
To steal it.
The pounce is available. The smite is up. It's not going to get taken. Javelin connects onto Horo, but Kikis is forced away. Now Chachi's jumped into the fight. Hourglass is up. Vardags has joined. The Javelin connects, as does the Piltover Peacemaker. Flash away from MrRalleZ. Living artillery after living artillery is coming down. Unicorns, they lose Baron. They gain a kill and potentially objectives. They're now pushing, knocking onto Meteor Maker's door. Where are the minions? Vardags is pushing in the top lane.
I think this is really, they're asking for a lot here. They want to backdoor that tower, but if they get that, all the inhibitors are exposed. They could be good for both teams here, depending on how they play it.
Well, we need to see how Unicorns can play this one out. Horo is looking. Equalizer comes out. Now Unicorns in full retreat. Vizicsacsi is on the front line. He's keeping Horo down. The rest of the Unicorns are focusing him out. One more artillery from downtown. PowerOfEvil gets the kill. They've exposed the inhib.
Look at that dragon though. This is 5th dragon for UOL. At the same time, 1st dragon for MYM. There's no bigger discrepancy compared to who gets and who loses dragon here.
And at 40 minutes on the clock, that 6% AD and AP is actually now relevant.
This fight, and then RalleZ has to follow up.
Well, MrRalleZ gets caught up.
Kori's low though.
Not to use the QSS. Ace in the hole still available. Kori forced away, which means Unicorns of Love securing an inhib.
And this is incredibly smart by PowerOfEvil because
with regards to Froggen from all those years ago. Inhibitor being knocked on now by Unicorns of Love. Look for the living artillery. MrRalleZ and Kori going low. Now it's MrRalleZ that's forced out. Equalizer is decent but not great.
I don't think
MYM is late to the party.
Look at
and
damage,
no one can react.
So much damage coming from the Rumble ultimate there, especially due to that Liandis. You know, the afterburn is a lot more than people expect. Good Vine, but
does
not follow up.
Hourglass. Let's see what happens. Collateral damage in the backline. Nothing's been stacked. It's Mimer that's down. Unicorns have a minute.
This is so smart. They land the bind, but they don't commit on it because they know MYM will punish them, and they walk backwards. And we saw the same in Copenhagen Wolves. They kite backwards and bait MYM in overreaching, and now they might actually be able to finish this game.
Hylissang went for the flash bind, did not find a target, but Unicorns do not care. They take another inhibitor and they turn their attention to the top lane, trying to get those double supers in both lanes.
We need one more inhib, then we need a Baron buff, and then we can push in all the lanes at once. And this is the win condition for UOL right now. But they're threading the needle. Nidalee is out of mana. Spells are coming back up. Spirit Rush on Ahri is halfway. You know, MrRalleZ is incredibly strong, but they got the inhib.
Vardags.
He's Rengar now. He's no longer Lee Sin.
MYM want the fight. Horo's looking. He's found Kikis. Kikis gets caught out. There's super minions in the middle. Is it enough though? This is the question. Equalizer goes down. Nobody from MYM is following this one up. There's the flash. Mimer's got the flame splitter. He throws down the Zhonya's hourglass. Stays alive for a few moments longer. Although Peacemaker doesn't get the damage at once as Kori dives in. Super minions are on those Nexus turrets. Unicorns of Love want Meteor Makers to fight them. The Nexus turrets are down, both of them. The super minions are on the base. It may be too much to ask as the Unicorns are pushing forward. Look for Vardags to start hitting the Nexus. We do see Unicorns backing away. There are so many super minions. MrRalleZ has 1,000,000,001 targets to focus. And all the pressure on
so hard to deal with. This might be the game, quick shot.
There's no wave clear left as Mimer jumps in. He does get one. It's not enough. After 45 minutes, the Unicorns of Love pick up a win. Took a long time to finish, Crapo.
I actually want to thank all 4 teams involved for giving us 2 completely different style games, but equally fun to watch and analyze, because there's definitely something to say here.
It's interesting to see Unicorns, they pull out that very heavy siege comp, very heavy poke comp.
Taking a page out of Aframo's book, going with the chilly fist bump, walking around.
But for the Unicorns,
I guess that was bound to happen one day.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That is really pretty cool.